committee recommended that the County Public Service Board harmonizes the requests and advertisements before re-advertising all the vacant positions. That has been that has tied our work, Chair, and that's why it may appear that we are kind of slow, taking a slow pace, but it is because we wanted to address these issues to finality. Now, on the same, Chair, in the last 2 weeks, we got an invite from this Honorable House to appear, and in the letter that we received yesterday, we did some responses to this, and they were submitted to this Honorable House, but the latest letter that we got was that the Honorable House was not satisfied with those submissions, and that still further ties our movement forward to address these issues. Thank you, Chair.
Chair, thank you, Chair. I think now listening to your presentation, Bwana Chirchir, I think most of the issues there are now clear. Apart from now, maybe recommendation number 3, which is on all adverts or all vacant positions be advertised externally to give opportunity to all qualified candidates. You know, now the challenge which we have to hear from you also is, if we were to go external way, how long and how fast can it be done? And number 2, if again, as we've heard from our colleague Mheshimiwa from Kipchimchim has put it very clearly, that if we are to overturn the motion that was passed in this House, we have to do another motion. Our only challenge here is, personally I have no problem with your responses. Most of them you have addressed, apart from now this external advertisement. And also number 4, I've come to realize that maybe our thinking was that you are replacing ward administrators with another new term called village administrators. But I've come to realize that that is the same thing, but now that is the entry point, which we have no problem with that. As long as now, of course, it will address those wards which had no ward administrators, but they will enter it now at the right position with their row of to start. Now, if we were to go and do now this thing externally, with the remaining period of time, which is very limited, I think the funding that we have already provided, supplementary budget. Thank you.
Chair, as concerning the recommendation number 4, external advertisement recommendation for external, that's number 3. Of course, the conclusion that what was made is that the County Public Service Board harmonizes the requests and the advertisements before re-advertising, which means we have been asked to re-advertise, re-advertising all the vacant positions. So that is now the final decision of this committee, that we need to harmonize and re-advertise. Then on the issue, the entire issue on external advertisement, maybe the HR team should be able to explain whether this will conflict with the guidelines on promotion of staff, whether the guidelines indicate that when there are staff within the establishment are qualified to perform certain duties, are you still going ahead and do it external advertisement, even though you have staff within who are qualified to perform those particular duties?
Thank you, Chair. I think I've seen where your challenge is. We have 2 things. You are trying to look at how we can harmonize the requests and also your advertisement. And then number 2, also the external part. I think the challenge here is to allow you now, because of this motion to do it internally. Because I think you've promised us that the internal advertisement is purely to absorb the Chebwagan boys, isn't it?
Yes.
I think we are in agreement there.
Yeah.
So I think that, according to my understanding now, is we now go and prepare another motion to allow you to do an internal advert. If we were to do that, will you be able to do this thing in the shortest time possible? We overturn it, this motion, by bringing in another motion to allow you to do internal advert, because as per this motion, it's still tying you that you have to do it externally.
Yeah.
But on our part, we can do another motion, of course, as long as we see that these boys and girls are absorbed. Because even if we were to go the external way, our intention would have been lost. Because at the end of the day, we will have lost. We are giving opportunity to other people, which even if they were to argue, they have an equal opportunity even with those who are already working under Public Service Board. So I think to make it easier, if the other honorable members can also understand the way I'm understanding, is for us to go ahead, come up with another motion, which now will give you a leeway to do an internal advertisement.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Thank you, Chair. Yeah.
Thank you.
If I can just highlight what Chair has mentioned. Item number 3 actually says that all vacant positions be advertised externally to give opportunity, which would actually apply even for the enforcement officers, the Jebugan group, because it's actually it means that because if they are on contract now, what we will be doing is a fresh recruitment. So we'll need to subject them to, if we go as per this recommendation, it means that even for them, we'll need to do external advertisement. But since they are already working within the county, we treat them as internal staff. And that's why we subject them to internal advertisement. Yeah.
In fact, Honorable Alex has come up with a very good observation. What is your observation on the same?
I feel that as recommended, we were to identify areas where the staff were qualified.
No, we are saying
yes.
we are going to undo
Yes.
that motion.
Yes.
And then from there, we can come up with another motion
Yeah,
that will give you now a leeway
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
of doing recruitment internally.
Yes.
So that at the end of the day, those ones who are already on contract can be accommodated.
Yes. And also the issue of re-advertisement. I don't know whether that...
In fact, we shall harmonize everything.
Yes. Yeah.
Are we reading from the same script?
Yeah. Maybe was it?
Yes. There was another.
Thank you very much, everybody. I think at the end of the tunnel, there is light. This is my observation. I want to really echo what the chair has said. You know, at the end of the day, the team to recruit those people are just the same. It is the same you. The Chebwagan boys or those ones who are already occupying some positions, they'll get recommendation letters. So even if the external advert can be done, which can be done speedy, the same, you know, you are the beholders of this everything. So, of course, the Chebwagan boys and any other person, their score sheet, their scoring marks will be higher. So there is, again, all of them are going to be recruited. Chair, with the due respect, instead, you know, the whole document, the recommendations are so good, and it is really covering everybody. So if that one can be done, even instead of coming here, we cancel, and then it is taken back, we will be negating even some good things there, just for the sake of 150. Can we caution that and then it is done speedily, but even if others will come, you give the shortest time. You don't give a long time. This is my own observation according to those good recommendations. Chair, with a lot of respect. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. And also thank you, Honorable Betty. I think the reason why I was insisting that we do another motion which will give the board the leeway to use internal. You see, if we call the external way, everybody will be in a position or will have independence to apply for these positions. And legally, you cannot lock out anybody who will apply for those positions, including anybody who has the same qualification and even more qualified than the Cheboagan boys. So we will have opened another challenge again. If tomorrow somebody will come and say you disqualified me for position A, because maybe I'm not a Cheboagan boy, we'll go into another mess. So I think to seal those loopholes, the best way is to do it internally. We will give opportunity to our own boys if we seriously want to help them. I think that's my take.
Chairman, in agreement that we stick to the original advert, the one which was saying that recruitment to be done internally, so that at the end of the day, in fact, I'm reinforcing what Honorable Alexa has said, so that at the end of the day, the 150 boys and girls from Cheboagan can be accommodated. If it is done externally, everyone will be free to participate, to do the application, and it will be a long process. Handling that big number of applicants will take a lot of time. So let us agree together that we refer to the original or the first advert, which was suggesting that recruitment is done internally. And other members, what is your observation? Deputy Speaker, please.
Chair,
you can also say something.
Chair, there was an issue which was raised, which I also need to respond to, on the issue of why this group has been disadvantaged by working on contract. They are not disadvantaged. Working on contract, as you know, half the county workforce are actually on contract. Most of them are long-term contract of 3 years. It's only that we've been giving them short contracts. But working on contract, we are not saying that they are not disadvantaged. And as we indicated that once they are working on contract, we treat them as internal staff, such that when they are internal advertisement, they can actually apply and they compete equally with the rest of the staff working in the county. More than half of the health staff are on contract. So, and some of them have been working since 2013 on contract. Yeah.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair. I want to say also I'm in agreement with what we have discussed. And maybe also my observation also is that we have to do the motion faster. We need to draft the motion, Chair, Governance and Labor, discuss with the Service Board and the CC in charge of PSM also, so that you can see, so that whatever we shall pass here also, it shall be so easy for them to work on it. Because we don't want to pass a motion where we make recommendation, we make observation, then when it goes to the other side, they might find even some complication, and it will also maybe give us also another maybe challenge of maybe doing the work faster. So if we want to do it faster, please, Chair, whatever we have drafted here, just share secretly so that we can make an agreement so that we can work faster. I just want to say that that internal effort, it will be best for us. Thank you.
Chairman, Public Service Board, I hope you have heard our observation. Are we in agreement?
Yeah.
Very good. We can even do it tomorrow. We can do a motion either tomorrow or next week on Tuesday on the same, so that you can be able to continue with the process. Any other thing? There was some questions which are posed. I hope that agreement has answered all those questions. Is there anything else that we wanted to raise on the same? The PSM.
Chair, thank you so much for the deliberations. It is giving us a way forward. Mine is on the expired contract. The contract expired yesterday, and I was requesting if we could have an extension so that as the board are doing what is necessary, we have a contract with them. I don't know if we can extend the contract so that they have a letter, they are working for us as we do the other nitty-gritties.
An extension for how many months? Public Service Board, what is your take on the same, on the extension of contract?
Yeah, it would be appropriate because, Chair, you find that if we are to start shortlisting or advertisement, it will require another maybe 2 weeks to advertise, another 2 weeks to notify for interviews, and so a minimum of 1 month will be required. So it will disadvantage if they don't have a contract.
Correct.
Yeah.
So can we suggest 6 months?
Yeah, 6 months.
To be on a safe side.
Yes.
So we can. So we are in agreement that that we give them another contract of 6 months, and within that particular period, we can be able to initiate the process of recruitment or confirmation. Another thing.
There was a question on certification, certificates of participation, and I wanted to respond that the Department of ICE, Information Communication and E-Government, has already done the certificates of participation. I think it was just awaiting signing by the trainer. So the certificates are ready. It's only the signing, and then we give to the rest of the participants. I'll consult with the Department of ICE, but let's give a duration of 1 month. Yes.
Maybe, Chair, thank you, Wasiri. We have had this issue of certificate for so long. What's the problem? Is it maybe the printer, the papers, or what? Or the signature? Because I think it is so many years now. We have been asking this issue of certificate, even those those who have not gotten the chance to come to the county, they are really asking why do you have not even this certificate to be? They could have gotten opportunities outside the county even. But they are waiting this paper certificate only. That's the problem. It has taken so many years.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker, for raising that concern. CCPSM as an assembly, we want to give you a time frame of 1 month, as you have already requested.
Yes.
And so that you can be able to prepare those certificates and give them before the expiry of the 1 month that you have requested. Today is 29th. So on or before 29th, they should have.
Today is first.
No, today is when? First. So first of when? April. 1st of March. So we are giving them a month. So 1st of April, they should have been given what?
The certificate.
Certificates.
We will do that.
Correct. Another one? Another question? There was a question which was raised, and it was directed to, is it PSM or Public Service Board? On the suspended.
On the suspended boys, I'll ask the CEO to comment on that.
Thank you very much, Waziri, the chairman, and all the officials, members of the assembly. I just want to state that the board, the County Public Service Board, had given us the opportunity to interview, to carry out suitability interviews for the enforcement officers. Usually, of course, it is them who usually do the interviews, but we had requested and they had given us that opportunity to be able to carry out the suitability interviews on those 150 enforcement officers who are with us. We organized the interview as we had planned, and we were able to interview 144 of them. 6 did not turn up. There was none who was suspended, really. They did not turn up, and we don't know the reasons why they did not turn up at that particular time. So we were able to interview 144. Those are the ones who turned up, and we were able to engage them. Yes.
You said 6 out of 150 did not turn up.
Yeah.
For that particular what?
Yeah.
Suitability what? And were they informed?
All of them were informed.
No, they were not aware. I have one from my ward who was suspended. He was never invited. And the other ones, in fact, most of them have been calling me. So let us agree. Let us come to an agreement. If they are to be invited again, please do so that they can come for the same.
There was an advertisement within the prescripts of the county, because you'll find that those 144 who turned up were able to see, and they usually even had informed each other, and these 6 did not really come at that particular time.
Mr. Cheruyat,
yes,
I'm talking specifically for that one who comes from my ward. In fact, he has been coming to my home, and he was not invited for the same, plus the other ones. So, as we are sitting now, what is their fate? Are you going to invite them again to come for the same, or we are going to replace them?
I think what would only happen is if we had some other positions to fill, then they would come. They would apply just like the others for those positions which are vacant.
Chairman, Public Service Board, what is your advice on that? In fact, my humble request is that let us invite them to come for the same interview, which was done by the other ones.
Yes. Allow me to say something on that. I'm also a victim of the same. So, and I don't want to comment on what the CEO is telling us, but Bwana CEO, can you please just be sincere and just give us the way forward? We don't want to take that ball to the County Public Service Board because it's not their problem. The problem emanated from the department. And there are some issues pertaining the same. What the CEO could have told us is that maybe these boys had some issues maybe with the department. Because in the real sense, these boys were terminated. We can't say that they just go on their own. I just came to the office of the CEC, we met with the CEO, we discussed on the same. But now whatever the CEO is telling us is totally different from what we discussed. So when a CEO you are just trying to push the ball from your office. But what I just want to advise you is that if at all there were some issues, you just tell us that maybe they misbehaved, maybe we have 1, 2, 3 things we don't know, because you don't want to push this ball to your office, and maybe you have got some reasons better known to you. So just be sincere and give us the way forward. Are we going to replace these balls, or you are just going to bring them back? Thank you.
Yeah. What I was saying is that I know that the chairman and the member was just spoken came to our office, but it was several months later. We would have also expected any enforcement officer who had a problem to be able to report. We have channels. We have the head of enforcement. If they are not satisfied, we have the acting director of HR who is here. We also have other HR officers, so that anybody who is not satisfied with any action that has been taken, or they would have actually come and discussed. They would have reported that if they had a problem, they would have reported, and so on. So that's why we're saying that it would have been best. We can look at it as individual cases. If we can be able to, you can refer them to our HR so that we can be able to look at them again, so that they can state what happened and so on. So that will be an investigation. So I would ask the members, you can be able to let them come to our offices so that we can discuss.
When do you want them to come to your office?
Even Monday.
Monday. At what time?
Working time.
No, let us be specific. Let us be specific, one.
Let it be 10.
Not any time.
Yeah.
In fact, we shall accompany them.
Welcome. 10.
What time?
10.
10. HR, I can see over there. What do you have to say on the same?
I think Mr. Chirot has already well put it, so we are going to anticipate them on Monday, 10 o'clock.
Monday at 10.
Yeah.
Whose office? Yours or HR's?
They report to my office first.
Yeah. We shall come with them.
Yeah.
Thank you. Any other question, members? Before, yes. ECD teachers, the 200. The 200 ECD teachers who are supposed to be recruited.
Chair, we've not gotten a requisition from the department on this particular issue, Chair. The department has not requested for
the same.
It
is good we have the CEC education. She can be able to respond on that comfortably.
Thank you, Chair. I'm sorry, I've not taken over. I was in Baringo. I had gone to Kenya School of Government. I'm taking over this week. So that is the first assignment I will start with as soon as I take over. Thank you.
Timeline.
Before the end of the week, we will have a report on that. Friday. By Friday this week, we will have a report on that.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. Time is not on our side. We need those 200 teachers to be employed immediately. We have allocated the money and it is time due. We have been giving out motions every now and then. So we need the department to act on it urgently. Urgently.
CC education you had requested for?
For 1 week.
For 1 week?
Yes.
To make the...
To follow up and see whether finances are available and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And from there you can be able to make the request.
Yes.
Thank you. Maybe I can ask, this is an office. You know that if CC goes for a training in Baringo, Government School of Training, or CC, you have also the CEO, you have your staff. Won't you tell us the progress even? Don't you have it in your table that have this and this? You have not checked your files? Maybe you can ask that simple question because we have actually, we passed the recruitment of the 200 teachers and it is a wonder now that it has not reached the Public Service Board. Maybe we were thinking on our side that the clerk has not sent to your office, but you have confirmed it is in your office now, but you have not seen.
Thank you, Chair. As I have just stated, I have not taken over. Maybe the letter is there, maybe it has gone to the previous CC, so I'm going to check because I have just reported back today and I have not taken over the office. So as soon as I take over the office, I know I will come across all the requests, and that one we can do it very fast.
Excuse me.
I am sure the CEO has already done.
Thank you. Waziri, allow me to ask you this. Are you aware, first of all, that we need some teachers to be recruited? Does your office aware about that?
I am sure the office is aware.
Yes.
Yes, I'm sure the office is aware.
Now, what's the problem? Because when you tell us that you're having a training somewhere, which means your office got stagnated the moment you left that office during whatever you are doing. Mm-hmm. Now, what is the work of the CEO in your office when you are not there?
Yes, thank you, Chair. I think we are not communicating. I know work is going on, but I have not taken over. Maybe we can call the former CC. He will let us know the progress.
Anyway, Chairman, just leave that.
Because as soon as I take over, I will be able to answer.
Okay, thank you, Chair. I'm surprised and perturbed when the CC says you want to go and confirm funds. It's where we approve funds. And we are asking whatever we appropriated, which has been existing even before the supplementary budget one. Meaning the question of money is out of question. The money is there, we appropriated, we need the process as urgent as it has been stated. Because you cannot be actually staying, waiting for things. We approve here, but the implementation is a problem. The funding of the ECD teachers is very clear, madam. If you are new in the office, we will give chair. No postponing, no procrastination. We want to confirm. You can allow the CEC to confirm from the CEO, because she is new. Tujue ni nini inaendelea. We need to know that today.
Thank you, Chair. Just to let you know, I was here on PSM and I was not aware of the requests for the ECD teachers. What I have just stated is that when I leave here, I'm going to confirm.
Please, we need confirmation now. So we can even go for a break. We normally adjourn even for 20 minutes. We are patient enough to wait for that. Yeah.
Bwana Chair, secondly, we need to know, as the County Assembly of Kericho, why is this Department of Education, we don't have a substantive CGC since we entered into these chambers. All of them have been transferred every now and then. Ukipata mwingine anasema sijui, mwingine sijui. We need an answer. We can adjourn for 20 minutes. Then we come back. Today.
Thank you for that, Mrs. Ruto, please. Can you be able to call the immediate former CEC education?
The former CEC education is launching a gas project at the hospital, so I know he's
and
busy.
the CEO?
Maybe I'll call the CEO.
And at the same time, ask her again the progress of county bursary. It is also a thorny issue.
Maybe, Chair, we can move to another agenda as
Public Service Board, is there anything else? As
we wait for
as we wait.
Yeah, under AOB, we forwarded some time back the organogram as well as staff establishment, which it is required, particularly in evaluation of, there was some evaluation which, is it SRC? Yeah. There was need for job evaluation, and one of the requirements was organogram as well as the staff establishment to allow job evaluation among the staff in the county.
Thank you. I hope I can respond to that. In fact, we received as the assembly, and it was committed to my committee on labor governance and social welfare. In fact, we are working on. We are deliberating on the same. So maybe by tomorrow or next week on Wednesday, we would have brought to the House so that it can be approved. Thank you. Any other concerned members? As we are waiting for CC Education to make a call.
Yes.
Can we release the Public Service Board members? Not yet.
I think it was Mheshimiwa Kibore. I think the issue of revenue clerk was deliberated. It's within the Chebwagan boys, the 150 slots. Yeah.
I think, Chair, in our in our previous response, Chair, we had indicated that this Honorable House will work on the previous motion to untie, so that we proceed with processing the entire group. So kindly, as you address the recommendations that you had earlier raised, I think that will also give us an opportunity to proceed with the process. Kindly.
Did you get
Yeah, on revenue. The revenue officers.
No, would you please come out again,
Okay, could be to add on that, Chair. You remember when we were appropriating funds, we had a clear amount appropriated for the 150 team who are already in service, and we wanted an avenue of adding the revenue collectors for us to be able to have those people outside here. And our argument over the motion was the open advert and internal and external. That was the argument. So our argument was everything was made internal advert, but there were some who were supposed to be made in from outside, which of course those 83 people for revenue collection.
Mr. Chief, you have this document, this one, which is indicating the number to be recruited in every department.
I have it, Chair, and even in your meeting of November 21st, it is clearly captured here, and it's part of the recommendations that we were addressing when we are talking. I can avail a copy so that, Chair, you can.
Chairman, to remind you also, I think the 83 was really domicile. We had actually made it to be domicile from finance. Hope you remember, because we were really measuring on the revenue collection.
I don't know if you have this document. Number 37, no, 36, 38. It's talking about clerical officers, revenue clerks.
51 in number.
Finance and economic planning, 51.
Yes, Chair.
And below it,
Enforcement, 32. Totaling 83.
Then the last one, security wardens, 3. Enforcement, job group D, public service management 145. So Mheshimiwa is saying that the already 145 is well taken care of already.
I got it differently, Chair. Is addressing the issue of clerical officers, revenue collectors 51, and enforcement officers under revenue 32. So when you add 51 plus 32, you're getting 83. So it is captured in this document that you're saying you'll have a motion so that you work on you amend the recommendations that you had given earlier. Thank you.
So Mheshimiwa is asking you to distinguish the 83 and 145. And what? Correct.
So we cannot narrow down to the living, even those who died and went the same in Jebwagan. So let us say 150, because the 145 is also questionable. We had 150 people, and I know some passed on, but there are families, there are wives for those people. We can make them enjoy the privilege of having their husbands be torn in Jebwagan. Yeah.
Remember, there are boys and girls from Jebwagan who are already recruited under the 150, and they were suspended. We have already agreed with that. Those which were suspended will come to the CEO's office on Monday at 10, so that if there are issues, Anna, I'm asking, if there are issues, those issues can be sorted out and then they can be brought back.
You know, some were suspended.
They were suspended.
And to remind you also, Chair, whoever suspended them, I don't know them. But I know they are not also disciplined. I also represent Mwananchi. Even if they are to be brought back, let us check the problem which was making them home.
Correct. In
we need to be fair also, even when it comes to enforcement.
Correct.
We need to be fair in handling Mwananchi down there. There are many complaints of you know as the chair. As much as we defend them as our fighters, let us be humane to the people who are being served.
Correct.
Yeah.
Thank you for raising that concern. And I have those concerns when I see a CEO, you will be able to handle them on Monday when you will meet with them. Another question?
My representative from Bureti, should I raise here or you'll square where you say? You see? No, Chairman. I'm the one talking, and when I do, you keep quiet. Chairman.
I have reported it, but maybe the chair can say.
No, I have no problem. If you square the issue there, I'll never raise an alarm here. But I need also fairness. I've been aggrieved at the past, and I don't continue crying. There is a time which I'll make someone to cry too. Yeah. So if you insult me there, I'll appreciate. Thank you.
I think there's an issue that Mheshimiwa Gilbert raised, and I was also trying to understand. Because what he raised was that in the budget under BSM, we had provided a budget for 150. Isn't it, Mheshimiwa? And then under finance, we had also provided a funding so that we increased more revenue staff. Although in the same motion that we had raised, the revenue clerks are already captured, totaling 83. Now, what I am yet to confirm, which I think we will still also have to confirm, is now what happened to the monies that we had provided in finance to recruit now more staff externally? Because this one now captures only the one that was captured under BSM. But I remember discussing with the then CEC Finance that we need to enhance revenue collectors under finance. But initially, we had provided monies for recruitment of 150 more of Jebwagan, though now we are talking about confirmation of the already existing ones. So maybe we'll have to confirm if we also have monies under finance, which we were supposed to recruit more revenue collectors. Because I think this is also a concern. When Mheshimiwa raised it, I remember also that we had raised a similar thing. And then maybe as an AOB, though we are not there already, that one I'll address it to Wasiri. Wasiri, I think you are aware that in Litain, we have a fire station which has stagnated. It's now almost 2 years. And since it was started, I would not want to list the number of fire incidents that has occurred. And unfortunately or fortunately, we have provided for funds for that fire station. Now I am at a loss. We are now going to that period where you have to be accountable for the things that you have promised and the things that you have not accomplished. Unfortunately, all along I've been singing about that fire station, and I really at a loss to explain why just a fire station has taken 2 years to complete. maybe for the purpose and to be on record, kindly respond. I would want, if possible, that maybe these members also be aware that next time fire occurs in Litein, it will not now be on me, but I think now it will squarely be on the department that we have failed the people of Litein, who are the second largest revenue givers to this county. Kindly, Mheshimiwa.
CCPSM.
Thank you, Chair. We have a contractor who has worked on the fire station for actually a long time. We have been pushing her, and last week when I talked to her, she said she was going to be on site this week because she said she was waiting for some payment, and I think she had received some payment elsewhere and she was coming to complete. So maybe we find out today if she's not there, we again talk to her, because we had given her a warning to terminate the contract. Then when she received the letter, she went back to the site and she worked on it up to the roof. So she had said before by the start of this week, she will be on site to do the roof and completion. So if she's not there as of today, we again, we will not write to her threatening letter this time around, but we will actually terminate the contract. We have also been pushing her, and it has not been easy. Thank you.
Maybe, Waziri, I know you still have other questions to answer on ECD, the ECD teachers, but going back to my question on fire station, I think 2 years is long enough. I remember the last time we were there, the contractor was complaining about the NCA thing, and it was sorted out. The next time I think we met with the contractor, I don't know, again, another thing that she was complaining about. Remember, I think the Litein fire station was started even earlier than the one that they are building here for Kericho. And it has taken long enough, I think, for even me personally. I usually don't lose patience, but for this one, I think I'm almost losing that patience. And I think it's a high time that the contractor come out clearly if she's able to do that work, or actually the contract be terminated. And number two, what's the status of the fire engine that's supposed to be in that station? Now that, assuming that in the next 2 months, maybe the station will be complete, what's the status of the engine?
Let's have Cheruyot respond to that.
Okay, so the fabrication of fire engine is going on. We had some inspectors from the Ministry of Transport in Nairobi who usually come and look at it or inspect it, the progress, once in a while. So they came, they inspected, and they are writing a report about the inspection, where it has reached, so that the same can be paid. The contractor is paid after some time. So at the stage where it has reached now, the inspectors came. It took time for them to come, but they came, and they went back to Nairobi. They're drafting a report, and then they'll be able to give us. So from that report, we shall be able to, because that report will recommend the payment to be done to the fabricator.
Thank you, Bwana Cheruyot. You know, the things that are going on, that are revolving around this fire thing, I think it's a bit very interesting. For a fire engine to be also fabricated for almost 2 years. I really wonder what kind of work that's going on. You know, the longer a project takes, the more it costs. I'm sure what the cost that was supposed to have taken the county, it must have the figures that were initially budgeted are not the figures that we are talking about right now. I mean, what's the challenge? This fabrication thing was, you know, even if a house was to be renovated, I don't think it takes that long to do, to fabricate an engine. You know, what's the challenge? You have engineers in your department. We have engineers in the county. Is it that somebody is failing on his job? Is it that they are not seeing the seriousness of this thing being, working? Because we can understand the challenge that a contractor is, or is it us that we are not paying? Where is the challenge? We provided for the funding in the budget, and 2 years down the line, I think it's a shocker that now we are still waiting for a report. I thought we were talking about now the engine is complete.
See, yes. We want to adjourn.
Like I was saying, I think I can also say that the contractor that we gave has not been able to be very fast enough. And the other challenge is the fact that the inspectors are supposed to come from Nairobi. So there were times that we wanted them to come, but because of other issues that they had in different places, they were not able to assemble and be able to come at the right time. But otherwise, I can assure that they came this time round. They came. They were able to look at the vehicle, and they were going to write a report, and we are supposed to receive the report any time from now. So I think very soon we shall be able to report on the progress.
Mr. Cherijat,
yes.
In fact, I want to also support Mheshimiwa for that concern. Why are you taking a lot of time? In fact, we had also some vehicles from our sub-counties which were brought here 2 years or 3 years ago in the name of taking them to service. Ipkelia sub-county as an office doesn't have a vehicle. The one which was there was brought here in Kericho for service. The same thing applies to Londiani. Why are you taking a lot of time to do 1, 2, 3 things? The same thing applies to this one of Mheshimiwa. Don't you see there's a lot of laxity in your office?
There was a time that we didn't even have funds which were allocated for that, for the fabrication, in spite of the fact that we had actually put it in our budget. But because of various reasons, it was not included. But the other time it was included, and that is why we were able to call them. And the others also are actually in progress. So I can say that we shall be able to have these vehicles.
By when?
I think in a month's time, shall be able to have them.
After staying there for 3 years?
But not the fabricated. The fabrication is continuing. It will continue for some time because there is a stage of inspection, and then the final inspection will be done.
CC, education.
Yes, Chair. To report on education, the requisition for the 200 teachers is ready, and the CEO has said it is supposed to be sent to the County Public Service Board. They have identified schools that do not have teachers and those that have only one, and also those that require additional, depending on the enrollment of the pupils. So they have identified all that, and a list is ready to go to the County Public Service Board. They have assured me that before the end of the week, the list will already be with the County Public Service Board. And they have also given out requisition for recruitment of supervisors. And I think the County Public Service Board can confirm that they already have the list for the request for supervisors, 30 of them. And as for the bursary, the list has been verified. They said there were delays in some of the wards, but all the lists have come. Verification has been done. The board was supposed to meet today, but because of the exercise that is going on at the County Referral Hospital, they will be meeting tomorrow. So an assurance of next week, Friday, the bursaries should be given out. Yes. Thank you.
Correct. Any other question?
Friday next week. Yes.
And we want to request you to stick to that.
I will.
Please.
Yeah, I will.
By next week on Friday. Yes.
Sure. Chairman, maybe my request also is that maybe I can differ with my fellow honorable members so that we can go as per the need. Because you find in other wards, Chairman, we have only maybe 5 schools in a ward, or even 6. Other wards may have even up to 30 schools. So if we have to, maybe we shall be giving to one school about 5 teachers. Yet we have some other wards or other schools which are suffering. So it's let us go as per the need. Thank you, Chair.
I want to interject. I am. Thank you, Chair. Mayor, I'm talking on behalf of the people of Cheblanget. I have been disadvantaged all over. In my school, I've got 2 schools which has not been given teachers since 2017. So the parents are paying the teachers, like Kenen and Chemwanjo. I've got 2 schools, so I've been giving out the request, but in vain. So I need this time round my word to be considered more.
Any other observation on the recruitment of the 2, or on how we shall share the 200 ECD teachers to be recruited? Some people are for equally, while others are suggesting that we share them equitably, according to the needs. Yes.
Do you have a policy on maybe recruiting the teachers so that we cannot discuss in this
Madam,
in-house?
do you have a policy?
Yes.
Chair, we normally...
That guides you on recruitment?
Yes, we normally use the national policy where we do the needs assessment and we post according to the needs. Yes.
Okay, Chairman.
If that was the formula, I have an ECD called Rwanda ECD class. I have one called Gabro the ECD class where they have 0 teachers. And the other time when we were employing, I didn't get even 1. Was there no need in my ward?
Chair, maybe that was an oversight and it needs to be corrected.
Thank you, Chair. Correction is, we be made aware, Kishara wanapata walimu ngapi. Yeah, that is the confirmation. That's the oversight you are saying, CC. Kabla iende service board, I want to see Kishara wanapata walimu ngapi. Because oversight can be done to even another ward, not me alone. Because in my ward, there are also schools which have 1 teacher na wanafunzi ni 100.
See, we have already had all those concerns.
Yes.
Some of us for teachers to be shared equitably, others equally. Why don't we suggest a day before the list is given to the Public Service Board, bring the list to the Assembly so that we can be able to deliberate on this. And then from there we shall be able to come out with a lasting solution, because our words are not the same.
True.
They are not the same.
True.
In fact, some wards have got extra teachers. Some schools have got even 5 teachers who are teaching in shifts. While in my ward, there are ECD centers that do not have teachers. So sharing teachers, sharing the teachers equally will also disadvantage. Will also disadvantage other wards. But I don't want to preempt that. I want to suggest that why don't we meet next week on Tuesday, so that you can be able to come with your officers, and then from there we shall be able to sit as a house, and then we can be able to come out with a final decision. Monday. Yes. Mheshimiwa is suggesting we meet on Monday. Very good.
That's okay.
Mr. Thiongo, so you can make you can write to them to invite them for the same on Monday. We will be meeting with the CEC and CO Education and other officers from the Department of Education. Full house. Yo. On Tuesday. We will take it on.
It's okay.
So that we can go to deliberate on the same. Thank you. Any other thing, AOB? AOB.
Let me take this opportunity to appreciate the CEC. You are the CEC education now. You had been running education, and we saw your work. When you were there, I could also attest there were some things you did when you were there as Edina. So from that time, kuna ingine itafanywa. Although we have 1 month or 2 tungangana na watu, mtusaidie hiyo kazi ifanyike. Please assist. I know you will be the engine. Ukirudi vile ulikuwa ukifanya, tutapata hiyo kazi. Unganganie, there are ECDs which are complete, which are supposed to be paid. Some contractors are coming back to us. Tutalipwa kweli. If somebody has done something good, let us not actually frustrate them. Let them be paid, because obvious, you will actually inspect the work before payment. There are some, like Rwandet ECD class, which was started, but the contractor failed to complete the class, and the class is almost falling down. I have requested to be retendered, because I know there are some time frame for retendering, which of course I have been saying from last year. No retendering has been done. The class is just by the way it was. So you will assist me check that class, whether someone else can be made to complete. I appropriated some funds to that department, which of course I was targeting that ECD class. To the service board, thank you so much. Tumejaribu hii maisha. Na tunasema asante. Angalau tumepitia mengi. We will appreciate. So Ellen, I'm seeing you there very clearly because you are brown. Remember, I'm black. Please assist me on the issue I said, with the professor plus the chair. This is a political season which require things which are straightforward. My request is that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bwana Chairman.
No, just before before DML, Chairman, I want to make some observation as you wind up. Sorry, I delayed because I was seeing my bosses, that is in grassroots. My observation was last time we had a challenge, Bwana Chairman, on the issue of I know you've addressed, but it is now good that the board is here and the CC is here. Last time you had forwarded some number that was supposed to be recruited. That is the CC. But on reaching the board made a decision. I don't know whether it's a decision or what. And they advertised more than the number you had actually noted as a CC. So maybe going forward as an observation for a chairman, such anomaly should not appear, because when we tried and compared here, there was an anomaly from what the CC